The new Trials weapon's obtainable, then you can focus drops, Aisha's Care. It's a strand heavy burst. And it's pretty cool that the 2-burst pulse has worked its way into the legendary class rotation. Another one is the new Solar Nullify from the raid. Review on that later. 395 RPM heavy burst, that's actually 300 RPM. I'm sure the 395 is going to get changed. And intrinsically on the frame, a cool thing about the frame, slightly reduces flinching from incoming fire while aiming, so it has a multiplier on anti-flinch just built into the frame. It's going to get an adept week sooner or later, and I want to arm you with what you need to know, what you need to look for going in for rolls. So in this review, I wanted to do a deep dive, the bones of it, what's actually going on. I'm going to lay out some facts for you, and you can decide. But remember though, multiple things can be true at the same time. There's some really good things about it. I mean, really, really good things, but there's some things that you need to consider and some things that a lot of you would consider bad. And sometimes we need to remember what it is, how it sits in the meta, because I'm not so sure it's a powerhouse. I'm going to show you that. It can be one specific way, but otherwise it's So that when adepts do come into rotation, I don't think that I'm going to go for it. I will say though, it's an absolute dream to use. As a matter of fact, one of the best pure dueling weapons in the game, technically. Extremely high praise from me because we have 2 built-in features. 1, the frame, slightly reducing flinch while aiming, and then 2, Omlon fluid dynamics. Mag has 20 rounds, the first 10 bullets, top half. That's the first 5 bursts. Get Omlon fluid dynamics. So it starts off with plus 20 stability, scales down from there. The base stability is 39, so it starts at 59, scales back down to 39. And there's a big difference. You can feel it when it's there. And also you get a faster reload in that top half. So baked in, it's just a great dueling weapon. It really is. It does have deterministic recoil and good things from that test. So the recoil base is 75. It drifts a little bit to the left, then decides to come back to mid. So the base recoil is good. It's fine. It's a 2 burst, so it doesn't really get away from you. Then 85, that's a recoil barrel, like extended or chambered. It's better. It's still going to drift left, but it comes back to mid sooner. It's better than the base 75 technically. It's a good recoil. And then 90, that's a counterbalance mod added to its base 75. It's horrible. Just keeps trailing left. Avoid it. Stay away from it. Don't do it. Then 100, for the first time in a long time, 100 recoil is the best recoil for a weapon that has deterministic recoil. It is straight up and down as it should be. So ranking worst to best, 90, counterbalance mod, stay away. 75 is great, 85 is better, 100 is best. And all very good. Very controllable, especially with the trait, Omlon Fluid Dynamics. And with that, there's some things to talk about with the range. The archetype, so it seems, has very high inherent range, which is a good thing. This has 80 off the rip. Decent stability, great aim assist for a longer ranged weapon, but the downfall on these is the handling and reload, similar to the high impact 3 burst. And when you compare it to Nullify, the solar one from the raid, it is better statted. This is PvP focused. Nullify is more PvE, but has some PvP qualities. The pulse rifle's ceiling of range is 39.95 meters. The 80 range, the base that it has, sits at 37.5, so 2.45 meters can be gained from 80 to 100. Keep that in mind. If it comes down to adding, let's say, 5-7 more range or 10-15 stability, you can feel pretty good going with the stability. You will be getting range on it at some point, but be thinking about your stability and your handling when choosing your barrel's magazine. Barrel-wise, extended chambered recoil barrels are great, arrowhead's great, full bore, small bore. Honestly, all of them are pretty good on this thing with how it's built, so just slot best available to your liking. For the magazine, ricochet, appended, high cal, flared, all those are going to be pretty good. In the third column, we have keep away, and it works great. There's accuracy for your follow-up shots, plus 10 range, plus 30 reload, and that reload also combines with Omlon Fluid Dynamics, so it's an even faster reload. So like right here, this is 90 range, so that goes to 100. It has keep away kill clip. Omlon Fluid Dynamics with keep away is 100 range, 100 reload. That's great. We have Zen Moment. It's always good. Even better because it has built-in anti-flinch. Zen Moment's lessening the bounce. It's more stable. And that's on top of the frame and the fluid dynamics. It's just a great perk. It's going to be at the top of what you want. Slice, always good for PvE and in PvP. It really is. Gut shot straight, it needs some testing, but honestly, there's some better options. Encore, it's great on it. You can make up range and add even more stability on this thing. It also grants accuracy. They made that buff not too long ago. It's a good perk. To the pain, it's a new one. Taking damage gives you handling, which it needs. Also, aim assist. That's going to help at a distance. It's going to help just in general to land shots better. It's always going to be good. And the more damage you take, the better the buff. Under pressure, actually worthy on this thing because, again, now it's going to be on either side of the magazine. The top half, you're going to get Omlon Fluid Dynamics. The bottom half, under pressure kicks in. And under pressure also grants accuracy. It actually works. In the final column, hatchling, PvE or PvP, decent, moving target, faster strafe, plus an aim assist, collective action, no. And then we have some grouped damage perks. That's going to make sense in a second. Kill Clip, Golden Tricorn, Head Seeker technically, and Desperado. After playing with this weapon, putting time into it, trying things, I have a big problem with it. It's time to kill. because we're going to compare some things and we're going to see where this thing needs to go. But ultimately, I believe that its TTK is the ultimate downfall because the base TTK is a 0.87. That's not really bad. It's not. The BXR, that archetype, other archetypes have that TTK. But on this thing, again, I do believe is what hurts it. Because with this frame, it's a 5 crit 1 body for that 0.87. And as I said, it duels extremely well, exceptionally. So you can hit that. No problems there. But the base TTK in its designed range, even though it has high range up to that 39 or 40 meters, essentially, the class is very punishing if you miss a crit. And facing numerous messengers, Red Death, definitely Red Death, absolutely chews it up. Even Kvostov a little bit, chews it up bad. A lot of the times you don't even get off the third burst, which would be the Fatal Burst. And not to mention Summoners, 600s. Hand Cannons have the 0.87 too. They can peak shot. So we can build on that usually. We have Kill Clip, Golden Tricorn, right? With how the RPM lines up with Kill Clip, that's where some weapons can chain, like the BXR and others. But on this frame, it takes that 0.87 to a 0.8. 1 bullet less. It's a 4 crit, 1 body. 53 to the head. At this point, you've gotten a kill, you've reloaded, you're usually hunting with other weapons. You're now matching auto rifles. After a damage perk, high impact pulses are still faster. They're still chewing you up. Golden Tricorn, that's also a 0.8 TTK with 5 crits. So between these two, Golden Tricorn doesn't need the reload. It lasts a little bit longer. It's a 5 crit. Kill Clip needs the reload. It's a 4 crit, 1 body. But with something like, again, BXR, it's a great example. After Kill Clip, it starts shredding with a 0.53. And I'm thinking, dueling great or not, even though it feels great, like I wouldn't ever use this over a messenger or a high impact frame or like Red Death. Even Kill Clip chaining pulses like BXR, like I don't see it. It is worth noting that if you get Kill Clip with Radiant, it goes to 58 and you can 2 burst for a very fast 0.47, but that's asking a lot. That's asking certain classes, certain things, but that can be done. Headseeker is okay. It adds an aim assist. You compare with Zen Moment for just overall less flinch, less reticle bounce, more aim assist, and it shoots fast enough, again, that it doubles up the Headseeker damage. It did fine, but this brings us to Desperado. For the first time ever, I'm recommending Desperado over Kill Clip, over Golden Tricorn, perks like that, because of the fire rate. It gets it into that 0.67 range. And with it being a 2 burst, I mean, it's very hard to test. It actually might be a little bit faster than that, or technically slower, but anywhere from a 0.6 to a 0.7. I think it's 0.67. Desperado actually feels good. It actually feels like you're shredding. It feels powerful. For lethality, that's the recommendation. It would be something like this: Zen Moment Desperado. Keep Away Desperado. Remember, Keep Away ups your reload. That helps go right into Desperado after you get that kill. I mean, Encore. All of that works. Other than that, I mean, plain Kill Clip, plain Tricorn are fine. You have to think it's doing about the same damage as 120 RPM hand cannon. Give or take a couple stat points, but that hand cannon can peak shot a little bit better, does things a little bit better, way more mobile. But I'm sure you're going to be hearing a lot about this pulse rifle. In the end, I don't think it's all that. It's not the second coming of anything. I'm sure it's going to be hyped up because people want to be excited about it. I think it's the best mid weapon ever created. It's Copium Evolved. Like, legitimately might be the best ever mediocre weapon. And as I started with, multiple things can be true. It can be an awesome shooting experience. It can be fun to use. It can be pretty easy to land headshots because of the frame and duel well. But within the sandbox, it can also feel like shooting marshmallows most of the time. It can feel like even though you're on point, you can't even get off the final burst, the killing blows. Even getting into that 0.67 Desperado, or again, maybe faster. With that said, there's no world I would use that over a high impact pulse or many other weapons. There's no world. Within the sandbox, the exotics, I mean, with Graviton, you have Cosmology. That can and does get kills. Revision Zero has the sniper shot at the end of it with the game that it plays. Like, I can see that, but with this, I don't. For PvE, I mean, there's Slice Hatchling, couple things, but there's going to be better strand weapons for strand things. It has some PvE capabilities, but PvE players, I would hold off. And for the Crucible players, I need you to know what you're getting yourself into. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Aisha's care down below. I was really excited to play with this thing. I kind of knew where its TTKs and its stats would go. And honestly, the main thing, the Omolon fluid dynamics with the frame, taking less flinch, that's what I wanted to see, and it performs. So that part's good. But the rest of it within the sandbox, multiple times I asked myself, Red Death, Messenger, Elsie's Rifle, even a BXR would have done better. But that's going to be up to you. Again, I want to lay out the facts, and you need to decide. Let's talk about it down below. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.